Morning, everybody. It's Sunday, October 18th, I think. Um, just coming to you with a video and an update. Since yesterday, I wasn't sure where I was gonna sleep last night, but I had a blanket given to me by Jared, my buddy. It's been helping me out. And I kind of threw it over a picnic table last night after Mike, my other buddy, bought me dinner at Domino's. So that was after I went up and got some pizza. And then come back, and it's of course been raining all day. It got pretty chilly last night, but I threw that blanket over the table and stayed fairly warm for a little while, but the wind kept coming and the temperature started dropping. It got cold about maybe 1, 2 in the morning. I got so cold that I had to get up and move. I went down to the bathrooms at the park I'm at and stayed in there. Usually they have them closed up, but for some reason they have them open. And I feel like, I don't know, just a hunch and a thought that processed through my head. Maybe they know my situation and they're keeping them open just for me. Or God is, for whatever reason. That's just a hunch, a thought. Because I'm one who thinks positively and always hopes for betterment and a better tomorrow. So that's just how I resonate and the vibration I carry. But I slept under the picnic table for a couple hours, couldn't take it, moved down the bathrooms. I did stay nice and toasty and warm with the blanket I had. I threw down some hoodies I had on the floor there in the bathroom. It's actually in the women's bathroom. Because the light was out and I didn't like light. I wanted to sleep. So I threw hoodies down and got comfortable enough and made a pillow out of some dirty clothes I had in a sack, which worked out really nice. I got some good sleep last night and got up early this morning, 7:30, and headed to Hardee's to get my coffee and start my day and kind of get to where I'm at now. But I've been staying at Plunkett Park. I've got a lot of past experiences here, memories here. I used to take the dogs here, and I'm out on a trail now, and I kind of walk down this trail for a reason and for purpose, to tell you of my story of my awakening and my peaking, is what I would call it, or my pinnacle to my third eye being fully awoken. And it was about a year ago. It's been a little less than a year, because I remember the trees, foliage, the trees, leaves had fully dropped, and I could see the trees, trunks and the bark much better. So it was about this time last year, and I started thinking about when it was and the events that had happened. But I had both dogs with me, and I'd been working on this cross that I cut out of wood, where me and Casey used to live over here on Pearson Street, and I'd been working on it. And of course, God was waking me up and showing me my spiritual gifts at this time, and throughout a few months process of what I call an explosion, or my peaking of my ascension, is what I would classify it as. But my awakening fully erupted, and this park, let's go back to the cross. After working on this cross and me manifesting my spiritual gifts through my creative abilities, and God taking a hold, and me unplugging, consciously and working in unseen subconscious realms of existence, and through a way I meditate and transform manifestation through my being is so hard to explain, but I pull it from my inner self, and I release, I meditate, and I go to a subconscious realm, and that's where a lot of the beauty and the creativity, the awesomeness of what God has shown me through my spiritual gifts has fully erupted. And I haven't been able to really do any real artwork since then, since I've been working on that cross. But Casey, my significant other at the time, also seen what I was going through and saw these miracles I was performing. Basically, I was literally no more than looking at a rock and reaching down to touch it, and it forming color and faces within it, or on the rock. And this is actually where I'm at the point right now in this trail that this stuff started happening. And I had the dogs with me. And I reached down here, I was about right here. And I reached down here to grab a rock like this. And this is when, faces started to appear on them. And they started to have color to them. And I also was just, at that point I was out the park, and what I call peaking is what I mean is, my pareidolia, which is a spiritual gift, was also transforming through this peak moment. And, from the rocks that I was touching to looking at the trees and every facet of the bark and looking within the bark or below the surface, I manifest faces. I can see so many faces. And I know it's God-given abilities that's manifested these things to happen. Pareidolia is one of my gifts, but as I was peaking, I was coming to this point, and all these things were happening, these miracles around me. I was looking out into this, crevice, this precipice. It's a creek down here, and like these trees over here. Of course, the leaves had fallen at this point, and some of these smaller trees. It was like I was entering into the land of Oz. Like the trees were talking to me, literally. The branches were its arms, and its fingers on the end of the branches were calling me, beckoning me into the woods, which is Plunkett Park. And I'm having this moment, this spiritual moment. I was coming apart. Tears were rolling down my face, and all these things were happening. It was so beautiful, but at the same time, it's so scary because it was new to me. And what was Plunkett Park was like the land of Oz, and these trees were beckoning me in, and every leaf had a smiley face on it. Everything. God was showing me true creation and life within life, and I was seeing smiley faces on everything, and faces within faces, and every leaf had some type of a pattern or a face to it. It's so hard to explain, but as I'm being beckoned in, what is Plunkett Park, and no further than me walking down through the creek and out, the other side, which connects you on the other side of the park over there, which isn't even a half a mile, back up the other side of the hill. It was like I was entering into the land of the unknown, and I would never come back if I went. And I had the dogs with me. I'd stopped at this point. I didn't go any further, but I remember this moment. And it's always going to stick out in my mind of how God has shown me truly how pareidolia, my spiritual gift of seeing below the surface, how He has shown me through me that I can manifest these things. And it's no more than, like I said, working with this cross. I would throw paint down and take a brush and dab the brush and start just free flowing all over the cross, basically just dabbing on the cross with the blue paint, and it was creating faces. And it's what most people may not be able to see, I can see, and within those faces I see 6 more layers deep, and there's faces within faces. So I start pinning them in or penciling them in, and faces start appearing, and I starting this art creation that's just unbelievable. But somehow it got messed up, smudged. I think somebody smudged my work on purpose, because I was getting gang stalked and hardcore, and my ex was involved in it, my whole family is involved in it, everybody's done this to me. But nonetheless, it got smudged, and I was disappointed. But when I said, I didn't let that disappointment shake me. I turned around into positivity and said, okay, Lord, there's a reason for this. There's a reason. Why did it smudge? Who cares? I'm just going to erase it off. So I took a sanding sponge and started erasing. And that's when God showed me His true greatness. What was devastation and changing and literally deconstruction and destruction of my old artwork, or pertaining to what I think right now is my life, erasing the old, bringing in the new. He showed me the true gifts and the true blessings. And when I started sanding on that thing, what come up beneath the surface, from underneath the paint surface, is God's true art and masterpiece. He was showing me through me how I can do that and manifest it. And I was having families of people and creatures and faces and birds and all these different awesome artwork that was, coming through the surface after the smudge and after me saying, fuck it. I'm gonna erase it and take the sandy smudge. I'm starting over, I was aggravated and pissed off at that point, but there's gotta be a reason. So I did it, start fresh. And that's where God showed me the true creation, and that was in the cross. And this, everywhere I look in nature, it's that way for me. If I look at something for an extended period of time or focus on something, I can see faces just within everything and creation, and not only faces but bodies or anything I want to manifest through my thought and through my conscious or subconscious spiritual connection to the divine. But I want to report to you guys, I'm gracious. I'm blessed. I know what God's putting in my life. I know who He's bringing to me, and I pray for her safety. I love you, baby. I know maybe, it's not that we've met in this life, because I know we haven't, but I know in another life we have. And if I know who I know you are, then I'm gonna be the luckiest man alive. And you're going to be the luckiest girl alive, I guess. I just didn't know my worth. But I do. And I'm accepting it, finally. I'm finally not denying it. And everywhere I look, the evidence and the signs point to me being correct about all this. Without a doubt. I'm not crazy. I'm just very smart. And it's through God who's given me the creativity and my ability to co-create and bring abundance to my life. That intelligence that is out of this world that I didn't even know I held within me, He's showing me, and I know who I am now, without a doubt. And I know who is coming to me, and I know what I'm capable of. And what we're capable of together is exactly what God wants us to do. And that's for prophecy, and to bring prophecy in, and me to have this, leadership role, and her as well. And as together forming a team that is unstoppable and it can't be stopped. It's indestructible. There are two or more gathered in my name there, I am there also. But can you imagine that with the vibration of pure energy, pure love, unconditional love, coming through both of us in one, as one? It's going to be unfathomable and amazing. Here goes Trent talking crazy shit again. Yeah, I am. And it's all been fed to me, and God has given me the answers. So has, things that have been fed to me. I know God works through people, and that's a lot of it's been done that way, in bad and good. And what was done to be my destruction failed miserably because of who I am. You think God's gonna let this shit happen to me? The bad? You're gonna try to make me somebody I'm not? You think God's gonna let that roll down? What were you guys thinking? God is supreme, the creator God, and what was being done to me was wrong. So what makes you think that God's going to allow you to get away with it? However the system rolls out, however I got to take it, justice is being served, and I'm letting Him deal with it. And I will remain humble and righteous and exactly who I am. And that's to take this leadership role and to be as Christ-like as I can, because I am an ambassador and a frontliner on the war of good and evil, and to bring prophecy in as it unfolds. So I don't know what I have much to say. There's things on my old Facebook page, Trenton, that my phone has been hacked. There's been audio that I've had deleted off my phone here recently that's been hacked. I know somebody deleted it off there because I had some evidence in there of drones and 2-cycle engines above my head, brah, 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 making all that fucking noise here recently. All that stuff's been wiped. Also, my old Facebook, Trenton, and my walk out to Georgia, a lot of the pictures and some of the videos were wiped too. And whoever did that, shame on you. There were, some of the pictures were of me behind or in front of cathedrals and things like that, and memories that I want to hold on to and remember these pictures. And because this douchebag decided to erase them and take a cheap shot at me because they're evil, shame on you. Karma will reap, and it's going to kick your ass. And because I'm co-creating, consciously consciously thinking of it, it will come back around. And shit like that, it's cheap shot, pussy ass moves, man. Whoever's done that, or who gets on there and tries to make these fake profiles and shit and trying to, break me or hurt me or get me excited about love and then pull it out from underneath the rug. That shit's got to stop too. I'm not adhering to any of it, and I see right through the bullshit. And even if it does, give me some hope for a minute, and you pull the rug out, it doesn't do shit to me. Because it's been done to me so many damn times, I don't even feel anymore. I don't feel for it. I see it, and I give it a chance, but if not, I'll cut you off, and I'll block you, and you know that. And I want to go talk to somebody else that was supposed to help me out a day or so ago, and never did. And I see the manipulation, I see right through the bullshit, and I see why he hasn't sent me that bit of money, and I don't care, because God, turned around and gave it through somebody else. And I wanted to, give a shout out to Marty Sullivan of Mexico, Missouri. She's kind of a mother figure to me. I grew up with her daughter and her son that I used to run with and was close to back when. And she saw my Facebook page and, of course, saw one of my posts about needing help. And we're one, pulled the rug out. She came up and pulled the rug back in with the same exact amount of money that I expected somebody else to come through for, not because I expect anything, but, keep your word. If you're going to do something, if you're going to say you're going to do something, do it. Because you look like the reject and the asshole. Either one, you're trying to manipulate me, and you're only giving me so much money to get me through so I don't spend it on something that I'm not going to spend it on anyway. But I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself with, enough rope to hang yourself with, and I'll throw that thought out there for you to, think about after I told you I see everything, and I see the manipulation. So it's either that or you don't keep your word. And when you don't keep your word, you really, I'll give you a chance or two, but you're worthless to me otherwise. You keep your fucking word, and if you can't do it, then just say something to me. But it's not about that. He's trying to one-up me or feel superior over me to manipulate me so I don't spend the money. But I'll throw that out there to you just to make you think about it, even though I'll reaffirm it with, I'm not going to give you guys the satisfaction. And you all know. I ain't giving nobody the satisfaction. And it boils down to the little last bit of giving a shit I have for giving anybody any type of time limit on, saying I'm sorry, or not even that, just acknowledging me. How many times are you going to step on me and manipulate me, and then when you see shit really rolling down for me, then you're going, oh shit, we shouldn't have done that, and you shouldn't have. I don't care whether I'm rising or not, it's not what you do to somebody else. Like my old girlfriend Casey, it's not what you do. It's not what you do. Why would you do that? Shame on you. I gotta treat you like 12-year-old brats. And that's basically what's happened, is you use witchcraft and demonic works to try to infiltrate me, change me, do all kinds of shit to me to destroy me because of my rising, and you knew who I was, and you were getting paid for my destruction. That's pretty fucking wild, man. How do people sleep at night? I just don't understand it. How can I be from the same breed of people that were just trying to destroy me? I knew it was happening. I saw it all around me, but am I that compassionate and care enough that I just keep giving second chance? Yeah, I am. And they knew that, and that's what they took advantage of. And time's up, man. Now's the time to say something. If you want anything to do with me, that's all I got to say. Period. Anything to do with me at all. I'm not talking about romantics, because that's went somewhere else. And it's waiting for her to come. So, I'm waiting for you, babe. You know who you are. I love you. And I will see you as soon as you decide to. But I'm going to sit here patiently and wait for you. So I ain't walking nowhere else, and I'm going to make my presence known in this town. And if people don't want to acknowledge or come to and at least say something to me, then that's fine. I don't have to remember them. And I don't have to bail them out if they needed help. But, just acknowledging me would get a lot. But I can't, fix stupid or, heal people that aren't wanting healed. So, and I just bring the truth to the table. I don't retaliate. It's all it is truth and God and how, karma and perfect balance works. And it's your all's problem and your all's fuck up that's getting you bit in the ass when it's time. So if you ain't got bit in the ass, it's coming. And I'm not even worried about that because it's not my problem. That's not my area. Prophecy is my area. Exposing is my area. Rising into my leadership role and being an ambassador for God and meeting my soul partner so we can do that together is where I'm headed. So that's my focus. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Bless me, Father. And again, Marty Sullivan of Mexico, thank you. You are a sweetheart, a dear mother figure in my life, and a blessing. I love you. I love you all. I'm going to head on out. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.